everybody. Today we are working on subtopic number 2, body paragraph for our informational essay. I'm in my writing journal and I'm looking at when I did my brainstorming for my frogs. And yesterday I wrote my life cycle paragraph. And today I'm actually going to write about a frog's diet, what they eat, because that's my subtopic number 2. But I wanted to kind of refresh my memory on how I got to where I am. So when we started, I asked you to pick an animal. And then I asked you to write down everything that you know about that animal. And you did. And we have been working on writing about it. So we picked 3 of our subtopics that we wanted to write about. And you wrote down everything that you knew about them. And then you wrote down some questions that you needed to answer through research. And you guys did a great job at that. And then we went over those questions. We found that information that we were missing. For me, it was I didn't ever remember what the third part of the life cycle was. And it was when they're a froglet. So I made sure that I found that information. And then I had you do this in your writing journal. This is your research organizer. You have your topic. For me, it's frogs. And then you have your subtopics. I had life cycle, their diet, what they eat, and then what eats frogs is my other subtopic. So yesterday I wrote about life cycle. Today I'm going to write about their diet. Tomorrow I'm going to write about what eats frogs. So far we've written an introduction. That would be introducing your reader to your topic. And we've written a paragraph, subtopic number 1. And today we're going subtopic number 2. If I look at this paper, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs already laid out because I have all of the information that I need for each one of my subtopics already here. Please make sure you are not making this harder than it has to be. You are writing today about this information right here. Your subtopic number 2 and your 3 facts that you have written down for that. That's it. Okay? Don't add extra. Only talk about subtopic number 2 and make it into a paragraph. All right. Now that we have that, I'm going to start writing subtopic number 2. In Class Kick, on the next slide, you have the same organizer that we used yesterday. It has your topic sentence, detail number 1, detail number 2, detail number 3, and your conclusion. So all in all, at the very minimum, you should have 5 sentences. A topic, 3 detail sentences, and a conclusion. Some of us might want to add in a few extra details, and that's fine, as long as they are all about subtopic number 2. Okay? One thing I did notice, when it came to conclusions yesterday, some of us were a little off. Back in our journal, we have these pages. We used them with opinion writing. If you were not with me for opinion writing, take a look. We had one and it was sentence starters for conclusions. It was called conclusion words. Things like, as you can see, in conclusion, to wrap it up, all in all, and I hope you, those are all ways that we can start a conclusion sentence. A way to stop our thoughts on one thing so we can move to the next. Okay? So use your journals. You have this information in there, and you are more than welcome to look back through your journal so that you can use what we have. If you were not with me for opinion writing, go ahead and pause your video and write these down. Okay. I'm going to pause my video and move so you can see my screen. Okay, I am working on my subtopic number 2 body paragraph, and this is the body of my essay. This is paragraph number 3 out of 5. And this one is going to be about what frogs eat, or a frog's diet. So the first thing I need to do is write a topic sentence that tells my reader you're fixing to read about a frog's diet. So I need to come up with words that will make it easier for my reader to see that without actually saying, I'm going to tell you about whatever it is that I'm fixing to tell you about. So I need to probably come up with a way to say, let's talk about a frog's diet. So I'm going to write my topic sentence, and when I come back, I'll explain to you how I did it. Okay, so I've started my topic sentence. Yesterday when I finished my paragraph for my subtopic number 1, which was their life cycle, I ended it like this. It said, now that we know about a frog's life cycle, let's see what they eat to grow into a mature frog. So today I am starting off with a frog's diet is fairly unusual. Most people think frogs only eat insects, but that is not true. So my details are going to be about a frog's diet and the fact that it's not only about insects. So I'm going to go ahead and write my sentence number 1, which would be the first fact I have about frogs and their diet. And that is in my journal on this page right here. The one there we have our research organizer. It should be right here. And I'm going to write these 3 things for my 3 detail sentences on this page. You already have these facts. All you have to do is transfer them there. Okay, so I'm going to push pause again on my end, and I'm going to go ahead and write. Here we go. Okay, I went ahead and I transferred the facts that I had found about a frog's diet over to my page. So I have 3 sentences here. The first one says, some frogs are big enough they can eat a mouse. Second one, there is one frog that is so big it can eat a snake. And lastly, frogs will eat insects like flies and spiders, but they eat other things too. Okay, so I'm having a thought. I think it would make more sense for this sentence to be up here. So I think I'm going to move these. So I'm going to do that real quick so that my sentences make more sense. I don't know if you guys would be able to do this on your page, but we'll come to a day when we do some editing, and then you'll be able to move things around. So let me read this out loud and make sure it makes sense. It says, a frog's diet is fairly unusual. Most people think frogs only eat insects, but that is not true. Frogs will eat insects like flies and spiders, but they eat other things too. Some frogs are big enough they can eat a mouse. There is one frog that is so big it can eat a snake. That's cool. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences making up my paragraph. Now I need to write my conclusion. Remember, a conclusion is wrapping up your paragraph. It kind of brings everything to an end and lets your reader know you're done talking about that topic. So I need to wrap up talking about the frog's diet. Hang on just a second. Okay, I kept this one simple. I used one of my conclusion sentence starters, all in all, and I said, all in all, frogs are not picky eaters, which is true. They eat anything. So here is my next paragraph. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to indent, so I'll do that now. So here we go. It says a frog's diet is fairly unusual. Most people think a frog Most people think Most people think frogs only eat insects, but that is not true. Frogs will eat insects like flies and spiders, but they eat other things too. Some frogs are big enough they can eat a mouse. There is one frog that is so big it can eat a snake. All in all, frogs are not picky eaters. Okay, this is my subtopic number 2. Everything I've written about is about the frog's diet, what they eat. Today, your job is to write about your subtopic number 2. Remember, look at your research organizer. It's in your journal. You have all of your facts already written down. So, work on subtopic number 2. Make sure to use a conclusion sentence starter so you can wrap up the end of your paragraph. I look forward to seeing what you guys work on today.